Now, whether it be experiments or radiation, making monsters out in the wasteland is a common thing that vault dwellers have to fight against. And one in Appalachia in particular is the Guai. And when I was at the grocery store, I noticed there was a sale on standing rib roast, which is basically prime rib. So I looked at it a few times and had to justify myself on getting a standing rib roast. But y'all, sit back, relax, and let's make some Guai roast, because my God, this meat looks absolutely wonderful. Now today we have a Guai roast. It's really just a standing rib roast, but we are going to be preparing this about 24 to 28 hours beforehand. And we have some herb, oh yes, that's right friends, some herb and garlic butter. Oh my, I'm so excited to see how this turns out. And I'm gonna let this sit, like I said, for over 24 hours. Now we're not going to be using any kind of binder, because a little bit that comes out is going to be our binder for the season. And I'm going to use a little bit of a different essence of season than what I normally would. I'm going to give it a little bit of sweetness with a little bit of honey rub, then come over top with a little bit of garlic butter, and then we are going to put some of the hardcore carnivore black seasoning on there just to give it a little bit more bark. And y'all, I cannot wait to see what this tastes like. My wife was asking me, so when are we going to cook this? So when's this going to be a thing? She was asking me this yesterday, and I was like, well baby, I'm gonna put it in there after stream on Saturday. Then I'm gonna let it sit there all day Sunday, not touch it. And then Monday morning when I wake up, we're going to put this on the grill. And as you can see, getting a little bit of plump there. Oh, I'm still in the fat. I thought I was away from the fat, but I was not out of the fat as of yet. My Lanta. I'm gonna come in on the side as well and just inject in the side to make sure that I'm getting everywhere inside of this piece of meat. Oh my, it's a little bit's coming out the bottom. I want this thing to be so succulent. Is it crazy? Is it insane that I'm more nervous about this than I am a brisket? Now, the first brisket, I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I wasn't nervous for my first brisket, but I've done a few brisket now, so I'm not necessarily as nervous for when I cook a brisket. But now this is my first one of these. And if you're wondering what a standing rib roast is, it's basically one big ribeye steak. You can cut this up into have ribeye steaks, but one thing that you'll hear it called a lot is a prime rib. So we're gonna be taking this to about 130, 135 degrees internal, and then we're going to cover it up with a little bit of tin foil and let it rest so it has some carryover cooking. And we're gonna probably let it rest and do a little bit of carryover cooking for about 30 minutes to an hour. But I am so excited to see how this turns out. Now, if you are going to be injecting your food, you definitely want to have it at 140 degrees by 4 hours, because you're taking bacteria from the outside of the piece of meat and you are putting it therefore inside of the piece of meat. But with this, we're not going to be taking it to 140. But we'll have to see how my wife likes it. She does like her steaks a little bit more well done. I don't know who I married at this point because of that, and now she's looking at me funny. But I like my stuff rare. But so we're definitely going to be taking this to where, like I said, at 135 pull it, because then it'll probably get to about 145, 155. And with prime rib, you definitely want it, you know, pink in the middle, a little bit red. But I'm excited to see what this is. But if you're ever injecting like Boston butt or anything like that, make sure that you are practicing food safety, because that's one thing that a lot of people don't think about when they're injecting stuff. They don't realize that, oh, I'm actually taking bacteria from the outside and putting it on the interior of it. So that's just one of those things that you want to be careful of and be, you know, kind of observant about, because at the end of the day, Nobody wants to get sick. That's the least that you want to do. And as you can see, juice is just absolutely, every time I put this needle in and put a little bit of juice in, there's a little bit of injection coming out from area to area. Let me see if I can get a little bit more in here. There's a little bit left. There's not a whole lot left. I poured about half of the bottle. You want about 1 ounce per pound of meat. This is around 9-ish pounds. So we wanted about 9 ounces, and we're actually going in here with about, I'd say about 10 to 12, because I don't mind overdoing it a little bit on this. Let's absolutely go. Yeah, when I saw this in Ingles, I was like, oh my Lanta, this looks absolutely amazing. Now, oh my gosh, just watching this in this perspective, I wish there was like a smell-o-vision. I wish there was some sort of like taste-o-vision, or I wish that I could invite y'all over to the house and share a like plate of this when it gets done cooking. But I genuinely think, baby, what do you think? Do you think this is going to be one of the fastest pieces of meat? I know the Guai claw was pretty fast. The beef meatloaf we did the other day, I know it was pretty fast, but 9 pounds of prime rib, how fast do you think it's going to go over the next few days once we cook it? Her answer is pretty quickly. She's not a person that is used to being on microphone, so her answer was only where I could hear it. My mom asked about if there was anything that like, any kind of like segment that I wanted to do that she could be involved with. So somehow my mother, the queen of not trusting the internet and not liking the internet, has now become, hey, if there's anything that you need help with or any kind of project that you think I could, be a part of, let me know. I find that like absolutely wild to my brain that she's absolutely never trusted the internet. Always be careful, Jason. You never know. You never know about these people on the internet. It just amazes me. It's one of those things that just, it kind of shocked me when I said it. And I told her, I said, well, once we move to the farmland, absolutely positively, you'll definitely have your time to shine out there. Now let's get in between this little spot right here, this little spot right here. Up, no, I'm on bone right there, a little bit right there, and a little bit right there. Now that, my friends, is going to wind up being the whole kit and the caboodle, because I'm not going to be able to get this last little bit that is in here. My baby Gail just had surgery, so she's sitting over there whining like, what's Dad doing? I want to be a part of the project. So let's get in here with a little bit of garlic butter. Now I like to put seasoning on the fat personally, and there's a lot of meat here, so I'm not worried about over seasoning. And we're going with a few different flavor profiles for this, but I'm very excited to see how this turns out. But I really do like this honey rub for the simple fact that it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. So I'd rather enjoy it. So let's get in here, pat that down a little bit, and then we'll come over the top of that honey rub and that garlic. If you can't tell, I'm a fan of onion, and I'm a fan of like garlic, onion, pretty much all that is something that I personally personally love. I'm trying not to contaminate anything else at the house, but as you can see, it's just glistening right now with all of that, and we're just going to leave that in there, like I said, for about 24 28 hours. When I wake up on Monday morning, whether it be 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, because Monday we have a holiday, so we get the day off, but I'm pretty sure that my body's going to be like, nope, time to get up, time to do the morning constitution, and time to drink some coffee. Now look at this thing. Ooh, my God. And look, my baby Bonnie's over here. Hey, baby girl Bonnie. Now on this end, I'm just gonna put the hardcore carnivore. I'm not gonna worry about putting everything on that small little end. That's really not going to be, it's not that it's not, it's more bone than anything. I'll still gnaw on it, because let me know if you've made it this far in the bit of seasoning and injection. Are you someone who gnaws on the bones, like your steak, your ribs, whatever have you? If it's got a bone, I absolutely will be like one of my dogs and sit there and gnaw on it, because I'm like, hey, look, bone marrow is great. And speaking of bone marrow, I'm gonna be real. There is something that I want to do, and I don't know if a lot of folks on the channel will understand how good they are or whatnot, but I want to do some oxtail. I want to smoke some oxtail. I just haven't found any like oxtail that I want to smoke, because it's basically just a cow's tail. And the thing about it is, you know, it's a cow's tail, so there's not a lot of there, but at the base there is. So if I could get just a bunch of base pieces, then absolutely positively. But one thing that's good about the smaller pieces is it's not really meat, it's just bone marrow, and I love bone marrow. Baby girl, what is it, baby girl? Are you whining because you hear your dad talking? And she's like, yes, Dad. Yes, I want cuddles. I had surgery. I'm no longer able to have puppies. What did y'all do? Well, we had to have her a surgery because there was a small little spot on her belly. Let me get this to where y'all can see, that we wanted to, and then figured while we have her under the knife, go ahead and get her fixed. So right now she is absolutely positively got me wrapped around her finger, as well as her mother, though her mom says it's just me that she has wrapped around her finger. I can't lie, that is true. And look, one of the many reasons why I hope I never have a daughter. You know, trust me, that's my main reason. It's really no other reason than, Lord of mercy, I don't know how I am going to fare when it comes to that. Now, as you can see, there wasn't a lot to keep that seasoning there since we hadn't patted it down. But now that we've patted it down a little bit, now not all of that will be gone off of that piece of meat. So now, that's right, friends, it's time to put this in the fridge, let it sit there for about 24 to 48 hours, and then call it a day and throw it on the smoker on Monday morning. But y'all, sit back, relax, and my God, this looks good. Now, normally I like to keep my meat in the fridge in seasoning for about 24 hours, but at the time of putting this in, because the wife and I were getting some flooring choices done, because we're having some floors replaced in the living room and dining room, as well as I needed to go do some yard work over at my father-in-law's house, this wound up being in there for 48 hours in the fridge, and it is now time to put it on the smoker. Now, I had originally I was going to pull it at like 36 hours, then the day got away from me and I was like, oh my God, I have not done that yet. I need to go ahead and get this done. But my Lanta, I cannot wait to see what this tastes like and how this looks later on in the cook. But yes, oh my, look at this thing right here. Look at it. It's been sitting with that injection for 48 hours. Now, like I said, we're going to take this to about 125 to 135, and then we are going to pull it and cover it and let it do a little bit of cooking from that holdover temperature. But yeah, y'all, sit back, relax, and I cannot wait to see what this product looks like at the end of this cook. Now it's time to take a gander to see what this is looking like after 2 hours. Oh my Lanta, this is looking absolutely wonderful. Now I'm going to take a temperature reading of this. Yes, Linda Lee, what's going on, baby girl? The cat's like, Dad, I would like to see that meat as well, and if I could have a piece of it, that would be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, that is looking amazing. I'm gonna get a temp of this and see where we're at internal. Now, I just took the temperature of it after about another hour, and we're just hitting 105 internal, but I want y'all to take a gander to look at this piece of meat. The fat is starting to render out really well. That is on the top. Oh my God, this is looking so daggum good, y'all. I cannot wait to see what this tastes like. I genuinely have not eaten anything all day except a couple of pieces of beef jerky, just to make sure that I am going to appreciate this meal. Oh my God, it is looking amazing. Now we're about to pull the piece of meat off of here, but I want to show you what we are working with off of this smoker. Y'all, this is looking absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to taste this, but we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait about 30 or so minutes, but just to show you where we're working at as far as an internal temperature of when we are pulling it, we're about the 128, 129-ish area. So it's going to be, once it's rested for about 30, 45 minutes, it's going to wind up being about 135, 140, which puts it right there between the medium rare and the medium side. But y'all sit back, relax, and by the time you see this, we'll be slicing into it. Now it's time to slice this piece of meat open, and I just want y'all to see how this is looking. A little bit of the juice came out as it was sitting there resting, but I do want to show you something. There's a small bit, you can't really necessarily see it all that well, but there's a small bit of bone pullback. So let's get in here. Let's see how this is tasting. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and I'm gonna take a little bit of fat off the, oh my God, top. Oh my God, listen, if this is anything to go by how that fat is, oh my God. Let's just come in and let's just slide this knife down, give y'all a nice little reveal. I am so glad that I got this new knife. Oh my God. Oh, this is looking amazing. Oh my God, I don't know why. Oh, there she goes. I was like, I had to get at a small little angle right here, because this is not wanting to pull. Oh, I don't want to butcher this up, but it's not wanting to pull at this little cartilage spot right here. So let's break this bit of cartilage. Now, don't worry, friends. Do not worry. I got this stuff. I got this like set. There we go. Had to just break it with my hand, but look at that. It is so daggum tender. Just look at the juices coming out of that. Oh my God. All right. Now, I've never really sliced a prime rib before, so let's just come in right here. What I was going to say is I got this little tray. I got it from Goodwill, so don't worry. I'm not cutting on my wife's nice stuff. I went to Goodwill and got me something. Okay. Oh my God. This is looking absolutely wonderful. Oh my God. Y'all, I know there's no smell-o-vision. I know there's no taste-o-vision. Oh my God. While this is on sale, I might need to go get a second one. Oh my God, it's so good. It was so worth not eating all day to have this. Oh my God. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. This one, I don't know, that's a little too big. I'm gonna put a fair dent into it. Oh my God. Y'all, this is absolutely amazing. The flavor, I don't know if it's the 48 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, what, but my God, this is juicy. You can hear my dogs whining probably. because they hear me over here going goo goo gaga over meat, and they probably want some. But if you have any chance to get one of these on sale, do it. Hell, even off sale. Yeah, put this in your smoker, pull it 125, 130 if you like it a little bit raw, if you like it a little bit on the medium, close to that. Yeah, this is absolutely phenomenal. And yes, I will be doing this again. Thank y'all so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out. Thank you so much to the channel members for the continued support. Y'all have a great, wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Peace. Love you.